Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome back to Starter from the Bottom here with Gateshead. And would you look at that? We're in the Football League. Because as you all know, or should know, if you watched the last episode, we got promoted, which was really no secret because we went wire to wire. Anyway, let's look at preseason. It went okay. Still did the Gateshead Invitational. I don't know why I do that. I just kind of felt like it. I didn't actually manage any of these games because I just don't have time to. But lost 3-1 to Newcastle, beat Grimsby 4-2, beat Southport 2-0, and those are both teams that we played last year. And I recall struggling against Southport, so that's a good thing that we were able to beat them fairly comfortably. Drew Shrewsbury, which was good as well, because they're in League One, so that's not a bad result. And then drew the Tottenham under 23s. I have nothing to relate that to, but yeah. Anyway, let's go down here and look at the transfers. And there's going to be a bombshell over on the outs that I'm not very happy with either. But as you can see, that out is Montel Moore for $37,500, which in my mind just wasn't enough money for him. But he was kicking up a fuss, making everybody else mad. Sorry, and it wasn't. I had to get rid of him basically. He's on 7K per week or less than, or 0.7K per week. 0.7K per was $700 per week less than he was here, which is kind of ridiculous. And we're paying $650 per week of that. So, I mean, is he really ever going to play at Brentford City? Let's be real. Well, he has already. He's came off the bench in the league. But, that was unfortunate. We also got rid of James Bolton and Cork's out on loan. Cassidy, York is gone, Steich is gone, Johnson's gone, Burns is gone, and Fifield is gone. You would have known all of them except for Nick Cassidy, because I don't even know who he is. Yeah, he didn't play for us at all. So, in quite a few years actually, so yeah. And in terms of the ends, we've signed Longello, who is a young left midfielder, got good potential, really pacey. In terms of his reports, not a whole lot going on there. I'm trying to remember all these players myself. We've signed Jack McCourt permanently, which is great. He wanted some ridiculous contract, though. Had some funky clauses in it that I didn't like. Sell-on fee percentage, relegation release clause. He's got a release clause in there, but $750K, I think I'd sell him for that, to be honest. Yeah, it's okay. I just had to pay him a lot of money. It was hard getting him down to that 2.6. Then we've got to Mullinux, I don't know. He's going to be our starting left mid, so I should probably get or left wing, so I should probably get to know his name. He was better when I signed him, but, I mean, he's better than... He's better than Wrightson, who we had out there previously, who's the backup now. So he's done okay in the preseason. 1 goal, 1 assist, 7.04 average rating. So not bad. Then we go down here to a person we have on one from Newcastle, Barlaser. He's really good. He's gonna be our starting right wing for the upcoming season here. Not a whole lot more to say on him. He's just going to be there. We seem to use our wingers a lot, even if they're not all that good, so we'll see what goes on. Then we have Morrissey? Morrissey? I don't know. Is he going to be our starting goalkeeper? I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up between him and Hanford. I think I'm probably going to go with Hanford, but... And sorry for my mouse moving around. Don't know what's doing that. But he's got some good potential. Only 24 years old. He could be here for a while, really. And then we have... Oh, jeez, this guy's name. He's basically Montel Moore's replacement. Lucas Unmicha? Unmicha? That's what I'm going to go with. I'm just going to pretend there's an apostrophe there. He is going to be really good. He's got 12 finishing, 10 composure, which is not bad. I thought it was higher when I signed him originally, but... fairly pacey. Pretty much how I found this guy is I put in replacement for Montel Moore in the scouting, and he was the best option. He's young, too. He's only 19. It's kind of scary. I mean, he's got potential to go well above League One, in my opinion. So, and he's actually also a right midfielder, but he's going to be playing a striker, which he's not the best at, unfortunately. But, I mean, he'll manage, I'm sure. Then we go down here, and I actually paid 130K for him as well. So, we signed Barkworth permanently, who's actually going to start for us this year. This is where I get concerned, is with the center backs. The fact that, we kept Manny Smith, obviously. But, I mean, the fact that Barkworth wasn't even starting last year. In fact, he came off the bench some 40-odd times last year, I think. I mean, he made 43 appearances, but 40 of those were off the bench. So the fact that he was the backup and is now starting is a bit of a concern. Anyway, we brought in Cole. Man, I keep coughing today. We brought in Cole De Silva as backup for left and right back. Good potential, young player, Welsh. Got him from TNS, actually. Yeah, he's actually a Chelsea youngster, so that's... Or was he? Yeah, he was. That's where I've heard of him. I thought I'd heard his name before. Jordan Cork came in and went right back out on loan. I was saying Jordan Cork earlier. You had no idea who that was. 18 years old. He has a ton of potential. I mean, they're saying he's got potential to be a Skybet League 2 central defender, but I think that's an understatement. But that's about all you're going to see of him for now. Jack Finch was brought in on a loan. He's just going to be... He might be starting in the ball-winning mid-roll. And he's not very good, but he's better than Mafuda, apparently. But if he doesn't play good, obviously Mafuda will come in for him, because Mafuda was like our Mekalele last year. So, or N'Golo Kante. Two very appropriate comparisons there. And then Martin Woods was brought in just as backup, because we were a little short in that department. Experienced, good player, not very good physically anymore, but pretty good technically and mentally. So with all of that said, let's look at the tactic that hasn't changed. That's pretty much going to be our starting 11, apart from Woods will not play every game. I think McCourt is injured yet. He's out for another 2 to 4 weeks with strained ligaments. He got hurt straight right after I signed him. So, and then Manny Smith is also coming back from an injury. So we're not playing a full strength team today against Wrexham. Funny enough, Wrexham. Yeah. That team that came second to us last year. So we should be able to beat them, really. I'm assuming they haven't strengthened, but they have signed some good players. I checked. So let's go ahead and get right into this. Team is already picked. You've seen that, but we are starting Hamford in goal, Geno Smith at left back, Atkinson and Barkworth at center back, Phillips at right back, Finch and Woods in the midfield. Francis at center attacking mid, left and right mid is Molyneux and Barlaser respectively, and Imchia. Why do I keep wanting to call him Imchia? Unmicha. Or Namicha? I don't know. Somebody tell me how to say that, please. Anyway, let's just go ahead and hop right into this. Martin Woods is like match sharpness, and he needs a number. He has to have number 7. There's a clause in his contract that he has to have the number 7. We're actually not favorites, which is interesting, but we'll see how it goes. We've already seen draws for Vista Rovers and Scunthorpe on the opening day. This is the second day of the season. I mean, I don't think we're really underdogs. I'm going to say good luck, go out there and pull off an upset, but I mean, I'm just not sure it would be much of an upset in my opinion. You can hear me muting my mic there. I'm having a bit of a coughing fit today for some reason. In terms of our chances of staying up, we are predicted to finish second bottom of the league, which I'm pretty sure is right on the edge, is the last spot into the relegation zone, but we are attacking here. Smith could put this into Atkinson, not the guy you want to have the ball. Smith again, now Finch scores off of the deflection. That's Jack Finch, yeah, and we have the wrong team ratings up and stuff. So we have our formation and their team ratings. Didn't even notice. Anyway, Jack Finch scores on his competitive debut, which is not too bad. I get the feeling that Mafuda's not going to have his space in the team anytime soon. I mean, Smith just laid that in, and Finch put it off that defender's back there. Oh, that's a name. Not even going to try. Okay, let's sort out this this stuff here. We need our team ratings and their formation. There we go. They're playing a 4-2-4. That's scary. Okay. Anyway, we're 1-0 to the good here. As Hanford takes a goal kick and we cannot win the header. I should really tell him to distribute short. It didn't bother me much last season because we were winning games, but I think we need the ball all we can get this year. I mean, do remember, this is the team that came up with this. They're not very good. And they are attacking here. It appears to be they're trying to. I don't know. That's a tackle, and Micha tried to get to it. I have got to figure out how to pronounce his name. Where's he from? I think he's English, actually. So, that doesn't help. Anyway, he almost scored there. Well, we still had the ball. Can't quite get it back into the box. I'm just gonna have to call people by nicknames and stuff. I might call Molinux Electrolux. That might work. Depends how good he is, though. I mean, if he's not any good, he doesn't deserve that name. So, because Electrolux is a local company here in Charlotte. Well, they have I think their headquarters is in Charlotte. They're not necessarily local by any means. We're actually second in the league right now, so sure. Anyway, we pick the ball back up here, and we are attacking. And Barlaser scores. There it is. 2-0. Away from home as well, and we're top of the league. Are we going to do it again? I hope not, because I don't think we can afford to rebuild that squad like I did this offseason again. And, I was so disappointed with Moore he came to me and said he wanted to leave. I tried to convince him to stay, and he wasn't having any of it. But I would have liked to get a little more out of him. I was expecting at least 400, 500,000. But nobody wanted to pay that much, so what am I going to do? I couldn't keep him around because I'd already signed, his replacement and stuff. So, I'm going to say guard against complacency. I'm not going to say they played well because the game's not over. I can't judge if they played well before the game's over unless they're up like 5-0. And it appears that Finch is going to be just like Mafuda and give away a whole bunch of fouls. And Corey Francis is injured. That's not good. We do have Patty McLaughlin still hanging around. I don't know who we were... Did I ever sign a replacement for his position? I think I'm working on it. I think I'm trying to get a guy in on the loan. And I thought Patty McLaughlin could play there okay. He's done it before. And there's really nobody else to put there, so... Unless, Martin Woods can play up there. Okay. I did not know that. So now we'll bring in Patty McLaughlin. There we go. And that's the thing. We're still bringing Patty McLaughlin off the bench. He was nowhere near good enough for this league. He was barely good enough for the league last year. So... But he proved everybody wrong last year, so I guess we'll see. Does look like Finch is going to have to come off here, actually. So Mafuda will get to come on. And we're playing with an entirely backup midfield at the moment. We'll see how that goes. But we are attacking here. Plays it in. Oh, wow. That's a good goal. I mean, it's 3-0 here. This is worse than we beat these guys last year, ever. I mean, these guys were tough last year. Notice that I'm just avoiding pronouncing both of their names. I really should have checked that before I decided to play a game, but... Namicha? I think I'm just going to call him Namicha. And Molinux. Molinux sounds good. Let's go Molinux. I'm probably not going to remember it. He's English as well, so Molinux. Nope, I can make another change. Time was ticking away while I was trying to figure out how to pronounce her name. George Smith. We've got De Silva on the bench now who can play both of those roles, and he would rather be a defensive fullback. Well, too bad, because we do not play defensive fullbacks. Neither do I ever want to play a defensive fullback. Anyway, Phillips crosses to nobody. And they do pick it up here, Wrexham, and they could come forward. This is when it hurts not to have Manny Smith in the team, because he's such a solid defender. And typically wouldn't let that happen, but Hanford did make the save there. I'm pleased with the team today. Woods is the only guy that's been questionable, but he's also been playing out of position for part of the game, and he's not going to play every game anyway. So, I mean, even Hanford's averaging us. He has a 7.1 rating right now. So, all is good so far. And it does look like we're going to get the 3-0 win here, unless they decide to score late, which they will not do. I mean, we had 17 shots to their 3. That's impressive. I don't care how bad they are. That's impressive. And we're actually third, so much for going wire to wire, because Rochdale beat Barnet 4-0. And then Plymouth won 3-0 as well, and they're just ahead of us. But, of course, I'm saying we're not going to go wire to wire like we actually have a shot of winning the league. France is out for 9 to 12 days with a bruised shin. I don't think I would end up having to leave the pitch with a bruised shin. Of course, he didn't have to. I guess I could have looked at the injury. Anyway. Namicha makes his debut, and he did score. Yep, they should be delighted, along with Mulinux, De Silva, and Martin Woods. Yep. And of course he's on form. Played an 8.9 goal and an assist. And Smith is back in full training. Wonderful. He should be back for the next game. Of course, this is when fixtures start coming thick and fast. Get a few days break, and then we play Sheffield United. Have a day break, then play Hartlepool. Yeah. So, it'll be interesting. You look at where we're projected to finish, unless it's changed. Which it is not. We did go up one spot above Lincoln, but who somehow survived last year. I don't know. So, that's what they think our best team is. I beg to differ. But anyway. Yeah, because I'm never going to play a 4-4-2. Key player Jack McCourt. I can't argue that one, though. Anyway, what was I going to go to now? You can see Peterborough favorites to win the league, which I'm kind of surprised they came down. But I've seen, stuff where you go a certain amount of years in the future, and Peterborough just tend to slip. And I'm not really sure why. Anyway, who is our key player? Jack McCourt. So we have 2 key players, typically. And I don't know, there they are. Yeah. Where are we? Jack McCourt and Burleser. Okay. I wouldn't think so. Wow, he's only 21. I honestly don't remember signing him. I think he was on... Oh, he's on loan. Okay. Yeah, I was confused there. I was like, I don't remember that. But he was early on as well, so... And, he's already scored down at this level. And that was a few years ago. That was when he was 19. Or around there. Yeah, so... He might be good. I say might be. He's probably going to be pretty good. What did he get in the last game? He got an 8.0 in the last game. Got a goal. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm just rambling on again like I always do at the end of videos. I'd be surprised if any of you actually watch me ramble on at the end of videos. Oh, another thing to hint is that we have $207K on the transfer budget. That was because of a player that was sold before I was here. And we got a certain percentage of his sell-on. And I mean, he sold for like 1.7 million or something ridiculous. So that's how I got the money to spend on our striker whose name I can't pronounce. Oh jeez, I can't even remember his name. I'm gonna do this again with everybody. Namicha. That's how I'm gonna say that. Or Namicha. Namicha? Namicha. Namicha sounds better. And we also have a fairly large amount on the wage budget left. Where you can see we're trying to bring in Broccoli, who I've definitely heard of before. I think it's from somebody else's FM save. He would be nice to bring in just as a bit of backup, because we are kind of still struggling in the central midfielder department. And McGill as well, who would just be backup out wide. Because I don't know what our depth is out there. And he just looked good, so I mean, I might as well bring him in if he's not. I mean, just to have. Can't go wrong there. When you look at the finances, they're a little better, because the board infused a whole bunch of cash, and we got the, 500K or whatever from that sell-on percentage. So, not bad. The projection's still terrifying, but I mean, we're going to be over $1 million in debt by the end of this season. But I don't know if the TV money has been put into this yet, because we're going to have some. Financial fair play, just curious. Yeah, okay, so we can spend $43,000 a week. And they do this monthly. That's weird. I know that. I think everybody does that in the Premier Leagues, just seasonally. Let's see. I'm trying to see some stuff. You can see all the money that we've made recently, though, which I'm assuming would be under other, maybe? Since this is expenditure. Okay, well, that's our expenditure that shot up. That's not good. Yeah, that's where they infused a whole bunch of cash. Which all came from investments. Yeah, 1.165 million from investments. And we got another one in May of last year before I took over. That was a fair amount of money as well. And I do believe that players sold. Players sold. Did we sell? I guess that was part of that sell-on. I already said I was rambling, and now I'm just rambling anymore. Anymore. I can do English. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this somehow with all my rambling and mispronunciations of stuff, please do leave a like on the video. And if you're new around here, please do subscribe. It helps me out a lot in the early stages of my reboot of my channel. And please do leave a comment. Tell me how I'm doing. I like feedback. So I will see you next time.